Back to the Indiana Tech Esports channel. My name is Bub. You know this guy, maybe a little better than you know me, Monkey Shines. Welcome back to the Indiana Tech broadcast. How you doing?
Well, they say around this time of year the weather outside is frightful, and that is why I have this on. A little chilly here in the studio, but the action out there, of course, red hot Indiana Tech here in the grand finale of NECC action. And hey, I want to thank the fine folks out there, Indiana Tech, for providing me an absolutely gorgeous jersey. Was originally going to wear it here this evening, but unfortunately it was like all black. You couldn't really see much, so I said, okay, let's give everything the due and proper here. It's a big deal. It's a grand finals, NECC. Let's go ahead and dress up proper. Here I am. And by the way, Bob, I mentioned this a little bit before coming on the air. I am here, ladies and gentlemen, on sheer adrenaline power. Well, no sleep. I am here for the action that only this roster can provide.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and surprises they have continued to provide in NECC. They have said if there's going to be a league that they're going to win in, it's NECC. You know, Northwood, the team that has been at or near the top of CRL for 3-4, carry the 3 forever in CRL. Yeah, they swept them in the upper finals. Now, that Northwood team is back. I said last time that after coming off a very weird, admittedly, 48 hours for Northwood where they finished top 4 in the CRL Fall Championship and then lost to Indiana Tech, that they were going to be looking for revenge. Almost certainly tonight, I would imagine we're going to see a very different Northwood than we saw in the previous matchup. They did win 4-1 over Cumberland, who was looking for their get back. Unsuccessful. It was a good run for Cumberland, who had lost in the quarterfinals to Northwood. It's a bracket reset, though. Northwood has to beat the Warriors twice. The Warriors only have to win one series, so fortune favors the team coming from the upper bracket, maybe? It's still a tough matchup. I don't think you and I are going to be remiss in saying that.
Oh no, absolutely. And those Cumberland boys, I mean, they are no slouch, of course, by any stretch of the imagination. But one thing we have learned, two things. You cannot spell RLCS without CRL, but also that CRL in general has been absurd. You don't really know what's going to happen on any given evening. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are not familiar with the script, as I was talking to my colleague a little bit earlier on, it seems like whenever I show up, it works a little bit like this. Game number 1, a loss by the Warriors, almost in spectacular, concerning fashion at times. And then maybe a nice overtime dub in game number 2, and then that is just the Warriors to lose at that point. But it is Indiana Tech. It is Northwood in the grand finale of NECC action. Hockey Creams and Sunil taking on the boys of Velocity, Reshram, and Bluey. So I will say as well, just straight off the rip, I could not be more proud of what the boys have done. We have seen them grow right before our eyes, and we have seen Reshram do stuff just like that. Not interested in taking an L out the gate whatsoever. Great send, difficult spot to follow up on, and Reshram kicking us off all 18 seconds in.
Well, it doesn't really get off to a better start than that for the Warriors. It's the Frenchman. You've heard me say it before. I'm going to say it again. That is a tech week for everyone involved, and he's going to look to do it again. This time, steered aside. Hockey actually goes for the fake, so Velocity's going to try and go infield. Hockey will proceed to clear it away. Flip reset. He will actually just drop this one. I don't think that was the play that Hockey wanted. So Zanil will look to follow, but he is going to be run down by a Warrior offense that is bound and determined To expand on that lead, Reshiram looking back for Bluey from the corner. He will work around one, and he will keep the momentum going. Bluey, does he have more? Flip reset in hand, goal line stand. The rebound is Reshi's. It's 2-0.
Bub, you want to know what the most dangerous thing out there is for Northwood? It is not just Indiana Tech in general. It is a confident Indiana Tech. This roster, when they find success early, when they find something to build confidence on, it is next level. It is beyond S tier. It is S plus pumpkin sticker gold star level Rocket League from these guys. And you have seen it's a speed that they have been able to best some incredible rosters with. And right now, looking kind of overwhelmed here, at least in the time being, is Northwood, like you say, able to go out there getting tremendous win. We were talking as well. This is the rubber match between these two in NECC action, I believe you say.
Yes, in the regular season, Northwood won in, well, dominating fashion 4-1. Is Hockey will get on the board here. Reminder for those at home, this is Northwood, so this is going to be a tough test again. Northwood won 4-1 in the regular season. The lone loss for the Warriors during the NECC so far. And then in the upper finals, the Warriors swept them, as everyone definitely expected to happen between them and Northwood. That is a team bump. Oh, and a miss. Oh, no. And that I'm going to call a fake, but probably a miss by the Warriors there. Hockey will look to start the counterattack. This will find its way back. But yes, a rubber match for the Warriors and Northwood. This is technically the third meeting, I think, ever between these two. They have not met in any other atmosphere other than NECC.
And the send there, as you got to wonder as well, who is going to continue stepping up? One thing that we've seen as well, or at least I've had the opportunity when I've watched these guys, it seems like somebody makes a statement early on, whomever that might be. It might be Reshi, it might be Blue, it might be Velocity. Of course, I think when we started things out, I personally look to Velocity as an individual that would carry things, and largely that being the case, we got to see Velocity and Bluey pop up a fair bit there early on. Reshiram able to step up as well, kind of shifting on from what at least appeared to be kind of a third-man situation, but has really come on strong to the point where any one of them can have the hot hand and then build off of that. But in all seriousness, about Northwood, indeed, this is going to be a slog. Even if we looked at a situation where it was a sweep, probably the hardest earned sweep that you are going to find. But Indiana Tech currently ahead 2-1, able to get a pair. Northwood with a fine response, but a struggle. Kick away is again Indiana Tech looking to make it 3-1, putting the pressure on, but again Northwood, good confidence on their side as well, going to be able to get this pop away. Velocity looking to slow it down. It pops back down off the waterfall, but will be denied. And this trio, Zanil, Creams, and Hockey, I do enjoy it a great deal. I think one thing that Indiana Tech has to be aware of at any given time, no shade to the other two, where is Zanil as part of one alongside Andy and Royales was absolutely absurd out there in RLCS action. Got to see him up close and personal, with 100x35, but very excited to see what they've got right now, though, going toe-to-toe with the Warriors.
Yeah, they're looking to bring this back even. It's available on the goal line, but not able to find the equalizer just yet. Matter of fact, this is going to be a 2-goal swing. The net was open. Velo is on the board. So it's 3-1 Warriors. Yeah, Zanil was just looking to keep the play moving, but unfortunately, Velocity was right there where the ball was. So the Warriors will take that 1 goal Northwood got and deposit it back in their net to restore a 2-goal lead that was erased a while back. 3-1 Warriors with just over a minute to go.
Loving the snipe by Velocity from one side of the pitch to the other. When you can get shots like that, I mean, you got to respect that a clear could turn into something so dangerous. I know Northwood, though, like you said, on the rough side of game against the Warriors and Velocity. Now on the cusp of the hat trick, I do believe the Warriors in control and then some. And I know they ain't done here, friend. You know as well as I do, they are not done scoring until not only these zeros are all across the clock, but if there is no scoreable opportunity left, that is officially when they decide to stop. Other than that, and I'm loving it as well with that mentality. They know here in the grand finals, you can't take anything with you, so absolutely take your shots, convert where you can. Looking for a power friendship pinch. There were Creams and Hockey. I have seen them play alongside each other a great deal. also not shocking there. Would not surprise me, ladies and gentlemen, if we got to see those efforts time and time again, whether it be pinches, whether it be tee-ups. It is a dynamic duo, are they? And of course, having Zanil again, just a heavy hitter is but velocity, tip him if you got him. All the praise that I might give Northwood right now. I mean, we talked about how things were sometimes rough for Indiana Tech to kick things off. Well, hopefully the entire script has not been flipped. A flurry of offense here in game number 1. 28 ticks left, and we have seen a confidence from the boys, Bub, from beginning to end, from pillar to post in this one. I said, the most dangerous thing Northwood can see out there is a confident team. They look as confident as I have ever seen them.
Yeah, and for those who remember, this was the scoreline in game 1 of the winners final. It was 5-1 Indiana Tech, if memory serves correctly. So this is maybe a little bit of a flashback for Northwood. They will not score there. That was a goal line save by, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know who that was. It doesn't matter. It is Indiana Tech A. And by that, I mean Indiana Tech, the boys, the Warriors. 3 for Velocity, 2 for Resh. Leads to game 1. Going for the Warriors. Resh got the first 2. Velo got the next 3. Bluey with 2 assists. Don't count Mr. Bluey out. That man popped off during the winners finals. And he is present once again here in game 1.
Yeah, and everybody getting 5 and just that level of pressure on any defense. These are human beings on the opposite side of the pitch. They will blink, they will make mistakes. And again, when they are finding those errors, you're already finding cracks in the armor. One thing that I am always curious about, as you well know, from game 1 to game 2, how is the losing team going to be able to respond? And if Indiana Tech's able to go out there, get a quick goal again like they did, even 2, I mean, I don't want to put the cart too far ahead of the horse, but I mean, you continue on with that, you get that confident of a Warrior crew. I'm kind of wondering if it might be a quick night for us.
Well, we'll see. Again, I don't put anything for granted. I don't think anyone does when it comes to Northwood. This is a roster with a track record that speaks for itself. It's a monster roster with a history that tops most teams, well, what they dream to do in this game. Nonetheless, what their peak could be. So Northwood is almost definitely going to respond. We will see, though, what that response may be here as we enter Game 2. Bluey promptly looking to start Game 2 the way Game 1 started, but Northwood will have a stabilizing moment for now. It is Zanil in the corner, working it back out front, but Bluey will cut it off and keep it out to the right corner for now. This will actually pop down into the mid and straight into Creams' hands. Does he have another? He's just going to go for the bump. Zanil looking for the dunk. The save is made. The follow is not there, and Velocity, the composure to just go for the low 50.
And frustration that we were not headed to South America in game number 1 out there in chat, but ultimately fine banger there. And indeed, Northwood, good response. And now that they have had a game to adjust, but once they have had the opportunity to kind of see what's what, great setup. And of course, who is it? It is in fact Creams, that dynamic duo, fully expecting them to step up, and step up they did. Fine response by Northwood. 4:15 left to go here in game number 2. Yeah, 100%. How could we not expect this Northwood crew to just continue to battle back? They're not done here regardless. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a sweep. It doesn't matter if it's game 7 on Champions Field. They are going to continue to fight. It is a heavyweight brawl out here, ladies and gentlemen, in the grand finals of NECC. Looking for the double play was Restroom. Not going to be had. And there is a zestiness as well to both sides of the pitch on this one. However, Zanil, an individual that I don't care who he's playing, an RLCS, CRL, always worthy of the C on his chest, should he have one. And you see right there, ladies and gentlemen, can strike in a hurry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for the first time in the playoffs between these two teams, Northwood has a multi-goal lead. So this is new territory for both of these teams. We'll see how the Warriors respond, as now metaphorically and literally ball was in their court until now, as it was promptly cleared. Hockey will look to find something out of the corner. Now he'll just look to keep it in. His Velocity with the shot steered aside. The rebound put back middle once again. Creams will find clearance. Velocity looking infield for Resh, who takes to the sky, but he doesn't have the boost, so he will defer to Bluey. Into the middle. There is the cut from Hockey, and the clearance from Creams again. Counterattack incoming, cut off by Velo. And now the Warriors look to come back again. It is Bluey up over the top of one, gets the dunk. It's available. Still there off the dunk. Velo only has a soft touch, maybe just looking back for Bluey, but Hockey will find clearance. 2 minutes come and gone. 2 on the board for Northwood. They're going to look to make it 3. It's Creams for the double, and there it is.
Expertly ran bully ball there by Northwood. It's something that I fully expect to see from TAC, and we saw the attempted bump a little bit ago on the opposite side of the pitch, but actually completed there by Northwood. And it is in these moments, but I think earlier on in the semester, we kind of worried because we would kind of see the boys' mental drift a little bit in these moments. They were able to respond, soft touch, and Hockey another one. So right now, the wheels kind of falling off of this one. 2:49 left, still time. I mean, we saw how quickly the Warriors have been able to score in that moment, but Restroom with the pause, and Northwood, they sense blood in the water. Might they be able to extend this lead on? We shall find out, but right now for Indiana Tech, it is all finding a way to get on the board. Sunil looking to supply a 5th goal, set up opportunity, but gonna be able to get the swipe on that one again. Indiana Tech looking, scratching, clawing to find a way to get on the board after being so successful in game number 1, but Northwood now going step for step with them in game 2.
And Northwood is, I think, finally arrived, ladies and gentlemen. This is the team that everyone knows this Northwood roster to be. It is Zanil from his own corner. He'll have one popped into the middle, but cut off in the counterattack. It is Zanil again. This time to the backboard. Bluey will wait. He will not have the boost, so he'll just go for the 50. Hockey will work that 50 right into the corner where Creams will follow. A demo in the backfield will open some space for the Warriors. Resh will go for the pinch, but it doesn't really go anywhere, so it's going to be on Bluey and Velocity to find a path forward, but that path promptly deleted by Northwood. The clearance back the other way. Creams off the sidewall, gets the second, but doesn't really go anywhere. So now Bluey looking to kickstart something for the Warriors here as we cross the final 100 seconds in game 2. The complete antithesis of what game 1 was. And well, if you're a Northwood fan, maybe a sigh of relief for a moment. But I think the big thing that I'm noticing, Monkey Shines, the physicality and the counterattacks for Northwood, they are all of a sudden a lot more prevalent than they were in game 1.
And expertly done, yeah, as we saw earlier on. But that is something that this Warrior crew has shown themselves more than capable of doing. But it is all about probably matching that physicality, I would imagine, because look at how successful it has been for Northwood. That send away the redirect is there, but Hockey going to be able to get the nudge to deny the Warriors here yet again. Right now, name of the game for the Warriors again, just trying to get that goose egg off the board. Just really testament to Northwood's ability to rebound. Like I said, from game 1 to game 2, so well done. It has been almost flawless from this bunch of Zanil, of Creeps, and of Hockey. Looking to get another one, but again, denial. Can they follow? Indeed they can. So Bluey, the first goal of the evening for he himself. 40 ticks left. Improbable, most certainly, but again, something to build upon. This is a 7-game series, a best of 7, I should say. I'm here for Champions Field, but it is all about the idea of endurance. It is a marathon, not a sprint. However, oh my goodness, I thought we might see a 5-1 situation by Northwood. The way this one is going, able to get the reset was Hockey, but the send out there, Velocity, maybe a double play. Nope, will be denied. And again, everywhere Northwood needs to be, Más o menos, they have been there. So again, if nothing else, friend, tip of the cap to this crew for their response here in game number 2 as we shift to what will effectively be a best of 5, and both teams taking their best shots, their best swings, coming away victorious in a pair of games that were never really in doubt for the victor.
Yeah, game 1 entirely the Warriors, game 2 entirely Northwoods. So game 3, well, something's got to give as Creams, Zanil, and Hockey do come away victorious and end the Warriors' run against this Northwood roster at 5 consecutive wins. Do not fear, though. Like you said, Monkey Shines, it's a best of 5 the rest of the way. And if Northwood does win, we go to another best of 7. We ain't done. So, Warriors 2 lives versus 1 for Northwood. That's just Northwood being Northwood.
And fine effort there by Creams as well. 7 shots, got the playmaker with the assist and everything. Really stepping up. Great response. Great response. And again, you're going to see that hockey and Creams dynamic over the entirety of the series. If it goes 14 games, you're still going to see them there. And again, the speed and accuracy and agility of Zanil out there on the Rocket League pitch, it is infuriating against something that the boys have to honor. But again, memory of a goldfish situation, but you go out there and say, things don't go our way. It's fine. We have seen it again on this channel. They go out there, been on the bad end of Brazil, and they have been able to respond, have the boys. So if history is any indication, ladies and gentlemen, it is game number 3. Surely the Warriors to take it. If we go to a game 7, there you go as well. But I got to ask you, shifting on over from game 2 to game 3, what did you see missing there, aside from points, aside from scoring, that you feel can be adjusted for the boys here in game number 3?
The only thing I can really say is maybe a little bit of control, maybe a little bit of precision. And I think that's more credit to Northwood than that is a discredit to the Warriors. I think Northwood was clogging the space a little bit more in game 2 than they were in game 1. They were being a lot more physical. They were controlling the space a lot more in game 2 than they were in game 1. Makes it hard when you've constantly got someone in your face to make a play in the offensive end. When they did get the space, they scored. They got the 1 goal. When they don't have it, Northwood scores 4. We will see what the adjustment is here in game 3. It's promptly a non-standard kickoff as Reshiram straight to the backboard, dropping it down, maybe looking for the ground pinch, won't find the finisher here. But immediate threats for the Warriors, and maybe that's what they're looking for, is a little bit of French magic here in game 3. But hold on, it's Velocity with a changeup, but it's steered aside.
Well, there certainly has been an ebb and flow, but I believe now both of these teams finding their footing. And interesting, we've got a switch out to, what is that, the Roadhog?
That is the Roadhog for Creams.
Against something that you do not see very often, but this is something I always keep in mind. Whenever you see what I'm going to call an unorthodox car out there, you got to be kind of concerned that there's a comfort in something like that. Not like AZAP and the Sentio. It is almost frustrating to say, how can you step out there and something that's not a Fennec, that's not an Octane, that's not a Dominus, and be so successful, but also an element that tells me he's vibing. He's having a good time. And as we have seen with the boys, when they're having a good time, it's scary. When they're confident, it's scary. I gotta say, if I'm seeing that from Northwood, it is a vibe that I am a little bit concerned about. And again, the best shots from the Warriors right now being denied. Again, Creeps is there to deny here yet again. So trying to find a way to crack through what is right now looking like a titanium wall for Northwood, but unsuccessful for the time being. A pair of goose eggs on the board.
Yeah, the good news is for the Warriors is they have controlled the pace of play here through the first stretch, but this is where things get scary, is when Northwood starts getting that press going. This is Zanil looking to continue it. Flip reset in hand. Works around 1. Going to try and get around a second, maybe get a bump. Isn't going to be successful in either of those two, and now it is Reshiram. Flip reset in hand. He's just going to drop it for Bluey! First blood to the Warriors. It's 1-0.
Marvelous set up and follow. Very difficult spot for Hagi, as much as he was able to do in our game number 2. Look, a 2v1 situation that you do not want to be in. 1 high, 1 low, and well, you are right in the middle. So Indiana Tech able to strike first as we take ever closer towards 3 minutes left to go in this one. Set up opportunity and Creeps. Again, like I say, when you've got an individual going out there playing to this degree in a Roadhog, dude, I see you out there, my guy. And again, a tip of the cap, no hat trick needed, as we are tied up at 1. Both of these teams again right now looking pretty comfy to me.
Anything you can do, I can do better, says Northwood, and Bluey is going to go for the underdunk here. Nothing there. 1 goal for the Warriors leads to an immediate response for Northwood, and well, now we're all square once more. Velocity will steer this one aside, and I think this is where, well, maybe not just us asking the question, but there's a lot of people asking, how many gears do the Warriors actually have to keep up in the long run, if you will, with Northwood? This is where those questions will begin to get asked, as Northwood, like you said, Monkey Shines, starts vibing, starts feeling good. You got Creams and a Roadhog who just clipped on you. What is your answer? Right now, the answer is playing defense.
And, they say offense wins games, defense wins championships. But what a challenge and denial by the Warriors. And we talk about patient play as well. Again, the boys, their mental has developed so very much over the course of the semester. They have responded really, really well. Cream's going to pop this one back. Maybe another opportunity for the Warriors. Instead, catch and carry by Creams. Look at the run point for a bump goal. Indeed, got the bump. Can they? They will not be able to get the goal. And again, one thing that we have seen, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not been around, is eventually an overtime stanza for the boys, and many times a victory as a result. But again, a fluidity here for Northwood that you expect, but Bluey, a strike yet again, has been the offense for Indiana Tech over the course of this one, and a 50 coming up big, a dime off the ceiling ultimately for Northwood, but certainly not to any player that they would prefer. Buck 31 left to go here in game number 3.
Yeah, rare mistake for hockey on the backboard, and the Warriors do capitalize on it. Now the onus on Northwood for the response. Zanil looking to provide it. Velocity denying the double. He will look for the follow, and that 50 will certainly help the Warriors' case, although Cream's full boost. He'll just look for a pinch, and it will eventually find its way to Zanil, who will look to start the breakout back the other way. Infield for Creams. Double on target, and the Roadhog is just too strong. That is 2 for Creams, and we're even at 2.
So from what I'm taking away from this, Psyonix really needs to get on the ball and sell some sort of a bundle, I guess, with the Roadhog in there. I believe that's what we're being told unofficially, courtesy of our guy out there.
I think we got a new meta.
Northwood hit. I think we do, in fact, have a new meta. Thank you, Creams. I appreciate you, my guy. I'm here for innovation, but I'm also here for Indiana Tech getting a dub. Challenge off the low, popped on over into the corner. Again, the Warriors able to strike twice, courtesy of Bluey, no doubt, looking for that hat trick as well. Velocity, catch and carry across his own net. The flick away. 61 in tank, not going to be able to follow up. Instead, there is Restroom and no follow for him as well. So Northwood able to cut off a couple of opportunities here for the Warriors. There is your send away. 30 seconds left to go. Soft touch going to be denied. Swat by Zanil. Again, you got to, of course, pay attention to, like I said, the dynamic duo of Hockey and Creams. Creams with the unorthodox works out there, courtesy of the Roadhog. But again, quick strike opportunity by Zareen. Indeed, as if on cue. Bluey, tip him if you got him. It is the hat trick, and Indiana Tech, not just series to series, but game to game, the hot hand right now. It is the primary color. It is Bluey. And 15 seconds left to go here in regulation. I will tack on the qualifier.
Well, Northwood evened the game on a passing play. The Warriors just took the lead with 15 seconds to go on a 3-man passing play with 5 seconds on the clock. We'll look to take a 2-1 lead. This one's gonna go. It's Creams again. What is happening here?
At the end of the day, whatever it might be, it might be the Fennec, might be the Octane, the Dominus, the Esper, the Sassy Scarab, or in this case, the Roadhog. My guy. All right, I respect this. I got to trot this thing out there in the sickos mindset in ones and see what happens. But again, Northwood right now, honestly, it is not so much a game of Tech v Northwood. It is a game of Bluey v Creams and FTC, folks, for the content here in our game number 3. We have seen Indiana Tech in these situations before. They have been successful, but Zanil, oh my goodness, quite successful, looking for the glove on the back end, I believe, as well. But this is what I expect, honestly, from Zanil, coming in clutch in these moments. Great placement as well, a little touch off the crossbar. So a quick 8-second extra stanza, and Northwood grabbing the game 3 dub. But again, we are in this one for the long haul. It doesn't necessarily even matter if it's this particular series, like you said, bracket reset necessary for Northwood to be able to get the dub here. Zanil 7 shots, Creams 5 shots, and that is what we saw from Indiana Tech previously. We're not seeing that 5-5-5 in terms of the shots. All of the pressure in the world there on Blue, quite literally the hat trick and the double play in terms of the savior back there on defense. Gotta find a way to get the clear away, but again, huge tip of the cap to Bluey. Blurry are my eyes right now from lack of sleep. But just, yeah, unfortunately, when it comes down to it, you got two great teams clashing, and in that particular instance there in game number 3, Northwood coming away with the dub.
Yeah, it's just one small mistake that made the difference. And I don't even think it was the overtime goal. It was the third goal from Creams that I think sealed the deal there in overtime. You had your chance against Northwood to take a 2-1 series lead, and then you left the back door open, and Northwood said, oh, okay, sure. I mean, I'll score an open net with 2 seconds on the clock. Sure, I'm down. We're looking to force game 6. That's a good start. Velocity. It is not Bluey scoring a goal here in game number 4. It is the European Connection. Velo winning another 1v1.
Again, the feeling, Bub, of a heavyweight fight, a main event appropriately here in the grand finals. Ultimately, it's not going to be about a winner or a loser here. It's going to be which team is actually able to get up off the canvas after being popped down blow for blow. This one has gone already. It has been a delight. We are far from over here. Again, if Indiana Tech is able to get this series dub, we are Dunsky's Northwood needing this and another, the bracket reset, to be able to walk away with the win. So in theory, pressure, I'd say lesser on the side of the Warriors, but again, have to respect the situation, have to continue on the urgency as if there is no bracket reset to be had. Dangerous spot, but ultimately a little bit of love from Mr. Crossbar and the lip of the goal to deny. Hockey, that sent off of the dome, and you got to wonder as well. I mean, we saw some unorthodox work courtesy of the Roadhog. Thought maybe Creams had something else in store, maybe trying out the Sentio, but opting for the Roadhog setup opportunity, but will be denied courtesy of Hockey. And one thing, Bub, that I have seen from Hockey is just time and time again, unfortunate placement to provide an own save for the opposition. I don't necessarily mean just here. It is unfortunate, but something that has been trotted out across many a series, many an event. But ultimately, going to be able to follow up. There is the strike from Zanil Shakana. I do assure you right now, like the 2 goals, a 2-goal run in terms of scoring, I suppose, for Northwood going back into overtime. That being Zanil once and twice. But Indiana Tech, Northwood back and forth. This does go. It is a battle of wheels. It truly, in this moment is going to be all about who makes mistakes with those slivers of opportunity. No mistake to be had there. Let's go. Merci beaucoup. We are talking about a 1-goal lead in favor of the Warriors. 3:28. So back and forth. Look, we are not even that far into regulation here. It's already got an OT feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, it feels like this game is far from over. We got a long way to go. Reshiram will maybe put us one step closer, though. It's 3-1.
Now, if I'm looking for any EU play, you better believe it is there. Takes the bump, says, no. You want to provide aggression? You got to hit me right in the chops. You can't just nudge me. You can't just bump me. You got to take me off the pitch entirely if you want to deny me, says Restrom. Of course, at this point, no lead safe. If you were not here, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, most certainly locked up in early fashion by the Warriors. A response by Northwood, a comfortable win for them. And of course, our game 3 that we just saw, a 4-3 dub. The follow-up there, and Creams a set again. Seriously, it's this Roadhog connection. That time by Zanil, I was like, okay, where is Hockey at? But no, able to get in on the setup is Creams. So now Northwood really settling in here, and what is kind of building up to be a defense optional game. We got a total of 5 up there on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was just disgusting. I know I'm supposed to be biased. I know I'm supposed to sit here and scream Tech, yeah, 400,000 times in 5 minutes. That's my quota. But nah, that's just disgusting. What is also disgusting is the fact that Velo had an open net. I don't know if Fresh is going to be able. Okay, he does. He does make the save. We're fine for now. The press is not over, and we're tied. Northwood has responded with 2 goals in less than a minute. And, well, we said it felt like this game was a long way from being done. That was dangerously close to Hockey making another save on his own team. But we are tied at 3, and we are halfway gone.
I'm not sure what the But the thing is with hockey with that, but I am not here to question the entirety of what Northwood is doing. After all, they are up 2-1. And while this may be an Indiana Tech channel, we can appreciate fantastic Rocket League, and that is what we are getting here. We expect that. I mean, you kind of laid the foundation for such an expectation for Northwood earlier on, and that is what we are getting here. But indeed, 6 in total.
Hello?
That one gets a and the restaurant providing the, at least for the moment, the scoreline that we saw in overtime, and it is a setup by hockey, not at all the team play that either of these teams are expecting. And again, Bub, if it's not the own goal, it's the setup for the opposition. Just hockey has been out of sorts here a fair bit, and unfortunately, a calling card, at least when I've had the opportunity to watch, and it's one of the things that could very well cost Northwood not only this game, but quite possibly the series, the opportunity for a bracket reset and the grand finals. But right now, Indiana Tech able to advance on. Buck 45 left to go here in regulation. Press up opportunities. Zanil looking to sneak that one past. Ultimate gets a little bit too lost in the sauce, looking to carry out across. Now jockeying for position is Bluey. Challenge up below there. Pop back Zanil. Look for the shot on. Going to be denied. The send up and over. Hockey. Got a challenge. Not going to be able to get a pinch off of it. Instead, look at the rush back. The kick back, the deletion. A sacrifice by Northwood. And again, brutality, animosity, tenacity. Absolutely critical to be able to walk away with a dub here. That one not back the net and not going to be able to follow Northwood there, but no conversion to be had. Looking for the setup, but instead it is the nudge by Northwood. Able to deny. Pop this one over into the corner. Minute remaining here. Again in regulation. Setup, but we'll be able to get the soft touch and the nudge again.
Warriors are trying to put a hand up a little bit faster here on Northwood. Northwood is responding in kind by ignoring the fact that the hand's being put up and just being faster more often than not. 40 seconds to go, a 1-goal lead, anything but safe. And here comes the man of the hour, Creams, to tie the game. Right on cue, Northwood with 35 seconds to go, piercing through the hearts of the Warriors.
Again, the Roadhog meta that we are all learning about here and now, ladies and gentlemen. It is the next step in Rocket League. Take notice. All of those fine folks out there in Copenhagen, start the grind. Start the grind right now.
Y'all thought it was a new mechanic?
Out.
Nah, it's a new car.
No, it is all about the new car. It is, you always say, hey, placebo effect. No. Just quite literally built different is the Roadhog apparently. But we were treated to an overtime stand just a moment ago. Set up opportunity, but not going to be able to get the shot on. Instead, Northwood looking for the send away, may be able to finish this one in regulation. And indeed, the nudge, the banger, Indiana Tech looking to finish this one off with 10 left to go. Going to be able to get the send off the back wall bumpery in net, but ultimately able to walk away unscathed is Northwood. The set up and over, pops high. Rushroom just looking to get the touch, sent high off the nose, and indeed, one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for good measure, FTC for the content. Northwood getting an 8-second overtime dub last time around in our previous game. What can they do here in our second?
Warriors with the early press. Hockey will put a hand up, and Zanil will promptly be the lead. Haven't seen the Warriors do a lot of that as the series has progressed. Maybe that might be an answer. There is a chance, but Zanil able to get there quickly. Velocity, maybe looking for the redirect. It's a fake! It's available, but Resh not able to get there. Velo looking to keep the press on. Clearance found by Northwood for now. Bluey on the recoil. Will go off the backboard, call his own number with a flip reset. He, I don't think, found the second. Creams will defer to the side for Hockey, who will try and make the follow, but it will not be found. There's the infield pass. The shot not quite on target. Velocity, the follow. It will be Creams looking for clearance. Make it 2 touches upfield for the extension. Again, taking off the hood of a player's car. Just in general, I've seen a lot of that here. Rush Ram infield, and everyone committing. More press here for the Warriors. Resh infield. No boost available for a lot of players involved here. Bluey to the backboard. Zanil also running dry on resources. Velocity with a fake challenge will open up some space for Resh Ram. Clearance found, so Velocity just infield, but it will find Hockey, and he's got Zanil on the extension! And a 3-1 lead for Northwood.
A concerning moment for me was that the sent out towards mid, and again, you just cannot provide that center field opportunity for this Northwood crew. You see why a pair of overtime victories back to back. So we were wondering about how they would respond to that game 1L. I mean, they have responded in, I think, a fashion that we fully anticipated. Restroom again with the hat trick, but likewise Zanil and Creams 3 and 2 respectively, opposite side of the pitch. So Warriors have been there, right? They've been right on the cusp, but unfortunately just it's gotten away there in those final moments, not only in regulation to take them to a game 3 overtime, but as well to lose that second one in game number 4. So it was going to be about those slivers of opportunity, and indeed both teams have been able to take advantage, but in this case, ultimately Northwood right now the victor in terms of that little back and forth. But to touch on a point that you mentioned a moment ago, that is something, that aggression, that bully ball that we have seen this team perform so very well, kind of absent. So I'm curious where it's at, where it might be. To be fair, though, when you have a team so effective in employing it, they know how to avoid it. So maybe it's not necessarily a case of, hey, we don't want to do it. It's just, it is a struggle. You can't just go out there and say, demo them, you'll be fine. Get the bumps in, you'll be just fine. When you have a team so effective in employing it, it's a challenge.
Yeah, and credit to Northwood. They've elevated their game compared to what the Warriors saw last. You can sit here and argue clinicality is an issue for the Warriors right now. Sure, that may be part of the solution. However, Northwood is also just scoring at will at times. This may be another one of those. That one velocity is just simply beat. I think he may have been buying the fact that Zanil may have been doubling mid. Northwood has a 1-0 lead, 11 seconds into game number 5. And now you may start raising some red flags here for the Warriors, as you don't want to go into a bracket reset, well, period. But if you do, you don't want to lose the first series in 5. That is a major red flag if you're Indiana Tech.
I swear somebody around here said something about losing the first game and then four straight, and the possibility of a script being flipped. Somebody get that guy out of here. But again, ultimately 1-0 in favor of Northwood for the time being. Set up right in front of net, and indeed velocity be able to get the follow there. So right now it feels for Northwood like it is a true flow state, and happy to surrender a goal or two. That is the scary thing. And right now playing with house money as well, so they can afford to take some risk that quite frankly the Warriors cannot. But at the end of the day, it is bit by bit, moment by moment, and a fine response by Tech.
See how the Warriors are able to respond. We haven't found that that dominance that we had in, well, dating back to last week, those 5 consecutive games. It's hard to say dominance, especially the way that the winners final ended. That 4th game was insane. For those who don't remember, I believe we saw 9 goals in a full game, but I think about 6 of those were in the final 2 minutes. It was back and forth constantly. But we haven't found that same level of confidence, to steal a word from you, Monkey Shines, that we saw even in game 1. Oh, no.
Yeah, there is an absence of what we had previously, but it has not been an absence of offense, of vibe, of everything that you would ask in a player from Creeves. That Roadhog, you might not like it, you might not appreciate it, but facts is facts, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, whatever it might be, I have to know, though, just from a caster's perspective, from a fan's perspective, how was this meta fouled? I'm genuinely curious. Hopefully I have the opportunity at some point to ask, but right now Northwood on top 2-1, and indeed the confidence and the belief and the enthusiasm there in game number 1. We're just not seeing it, and it is that zest, it is that belief and that adrenaline that you cannot let be a spike, a temporary thing. and when Indiana Tech, when they lose it, it's just a shadow of their former selves. Meanwhile, Northwood, again, they just lock in. It's a flow, and Creams again. It's just the OP Roadhog has been able not necessarily to carry, but has just been ferocious. This is another demo there. Sent high velocity, looking to get the touch tonight. There's Zanil. It is the float, and again, that is what I fully expect from the likes of him. Setup opportunity, but nudged away now. Northwood looking for one more.
They're going to look to try and find a response here. Reshiram, no boost in the tanks, and no follow here, but it is Bluey dropping it down in front. The dunk from Velo is denied. Zanil will look to find some clearance. Reshiram has something to say about it. Velo, double attempt, drops it down. That one was denied. Resh will keep it in for now, and Velocity will follow. He does have Bluey mid, but the clearance is found. Hockey doesn't have boost, so the extension will not go into effect. Creams does not care about no stinking extension, though. He is just going, even though he was beat. And now he finds himself on the ball again. He cares little about no stinking boost either until he's promptly deleted. Velocity with some space. Northwood cares little about that either. A whole lot of not caring here for Northwood, and a whole lot of just going. Creams will continue that trend. He'll work it middle for Zanil, who finds a fake, some space, an open net, and buries it. A 3-1 lead for Northwood with a minute 25 to go.
And right, you say just not caring, but full send has been working for Northwood ever since game number 2. I mean, they are more than happy to sacrifice a goal because they know we will get a pair. We will get 3 back. We are not stressed about that whatsoever. That is the confidence that I'm talking about. And this is too dangerous a team to provide by Zanil. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is textbook Zanil. The last thing that we talk about a confident tech team. I assure you, the last thing, the absolute last thing you want if you're a Warrior fan is to see that player, Zanil, with a smile on his face, with a vibe, and again, right now, Northwood doing no wrong. It looks like the script, it may in fact be flipped here, and going into what appears to be a lockdown bracket reset, and indeed, Hockey looking to finish the idea that it is anything but that. All the momentum on the side of Northwood, and then some. So you got to think long term, right? We're looking into the next series more likely than not. Just got to find something if you are Indiana Tech to build on, shifting on over into that next series.
Yeah, absolutely. 67 seconds. There's a joke somewhere in there. Why? I will make the joke. I've spent all semester doing it. Producer, I think, is not paying much attention to me at this point. I think he missed the joke. Otherwise, there would be a smile on his face. No, he's smiling. Okay, he heard enough of it to understand. Yeah, Northwood has the series on wraps. It's on ice. It's now 6-1 with 39 seconds to go. The shot was 57 kilometers per hour. Not the funny number. Yeah, I got nothing else to say, Monkey Shines. This is terrifying if you are a fan of the Warriors right now.
I have to ask as a step aside, why must you wound me? Why must there be salt? Why must there be salt in light of everything that has happened since game number 1? You're absolutely killing me, man. But at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is. I mean, I am but the old man in this crowd, so I fully admit. And oh my goodness, it's high for Creams down to Hockey. We're headed to Brazil, courtesy of that dynamic duo. Great stuff. And along the goal line, what a tee up at the end of the day. But look, I gotta appreciate good Rocket League, and that's not good Rocket League. That is sublime Rocket League, honestly. So this one going off the rails for the boys, not finding really much in terms of success since game number 1, and as I say, a reversal of fortune from what I am used to whenever stopping by on this channel. Typically dropping game number 1, and then it had been a 4-game run for the Warriors. It has been the exact inverse here, Northwood, and ending this one in emphatic fashion with the Brazil. So at this point, I mean, if you are the Warriors, you're stepping aside. What do you take away from this one? What must you do? And I guess, is it Roadhog time for the boys?
Yeah, I don't know. All I gotta say is, Creams, I better see the Roadhog be used in the next RLCS qualifiers. Otherwise, I've been scammed. Yeah. That's all I got.
We've opened some false bill of goods.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
I don't know. Wow. Northwood has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. I think we knew during the winners finals that that 4-0 was a good result. Don't get me wrong, but an odd one. There were a lot of, that was a weird game. Weird 48 hours for Northwood. They lose to Concord, and then they lose 4-0 here. Northwood, are you okay? Well, a 4-1 win over Cumberland, followed by a 4-1 win there, clinching a bracket reset. It's going to come down to one more best of 7 to determine the NECC Division 1 champs for the fall. If that's the Northwood's going to show up in, 10 minutes, if even that, they may be getting the second series going literally right now. I don't know. I don't have the screen up on my end. But that there's some questions to raise right now for the Warriors. I ain't got much. I'm a shift the attention over to you, Monkey Shines. How you feeling? What do you think we got to do right now? Because that whatever we were doing from game 2 on, it was not working.
No, it wasn't. And ultimately for me, I look back to a team that their success has largely been dictated by what's between the ears. And you go out there in game 3 and game 4, you lose a pair of overtime games, especially, hey, you had things at a 1-1 series, okay, effectively a best of 5, but then that level of a swing at that point, it's tough to say, okay, we got to win 3 straight against a team that is vibing. There's a freaking roadhog out there on the opposite side of the pitch and can seemingly do just about no wrong. And even if they do, they have been able to respond. So right now it is memory of a goldfish time. We reset quite literally bracket reset, but it is going to be all about treating a game by game scenario. We are right back to where we started. And yeah, you have to basically say, okay, sometimes games don't go your way. Sometimes series don't go your way. Fair enough. You know what you do? You look at that and you say, warm-up series, we found everything that we cannot do. We have to find a way to adjust. So they do have a fair bit of wiggle room, but it has been used. Margin of error now nil.
Yeah. Well played, Northwood. That's really all I got. NECC is also running a broadcast, and I've just been informed by producer that they are taking a 5-minute break. So Monkey Shines, I like the idea of us taking a couple minutes to just breathe, relax, kind of walk around for a minute, take a moment to just kind of reset. So don't go far. We got the bracket reset coming up. Warriors lose the first series 4-1, but it was the bracket reset we were all here for, right? We knew this was coming. Yeah. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
See you in a bit, guys. Don't go far.
I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding.
Tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly night and day, yeah. Tell me where you wanna go. We could fly to the stars, yeah. Tell me if you wanna stay. We could fly, yeah.
All right, bracket reset. Here we go. Fresh best of 7. First series. What do you mean first series? There was no first series here. It's like there was no war in Bossing Say. Monkey Shines, welcome back for what was definitely our first series of the day, not our second.
Yes. No. Just got here, having a fine day. Totally got some good sleep last night. But as we were talking about seriously, though, during the break, just trying to find a way, I think, to find confidence. And I am curious to see if the Warriors can somehow implement aggression here. It had been cut off. It had been met. It had been denied, cut off the knees by Northwood, to be fair. And again, credit to what has been an absolutely not only absurdly good team, but just the great execution as well that I think you and I and pretty much everybody out there familiar with the team expected. But Northwood continuing on, and now Creeps out there switching over. I believe that is is that the Mantis that I am saying? Is this just random preset day? Is that what I'm getting out of this?
I believe this is what NRG used to call back in 2021, 2022, the have fun meta. Because I have no idea, truthfully, what car that is. What I do know is that's a tech, yeah. Bluey is on the board.
It's indeed a hashtag tech yeah out there in chat, but heaven forbid. I mean, this is something that I will say doesn't matter the team. If you are able to go out there as a talented trio, as Northwood is, and have fun, that is a buff. That is beyond. And again, competitors, of course, are Indiana Tech, are this trio, but their fun comes in scoring. Their fun comes with opportunity and success on the pitch, and denial there by Northwood. I mean, it was a swing and then some, but for Indiana Tech, gotta find a way to build on one goal, and will be denied their kickback. That one will not find back up net and will not be able to follow up Will Northwood. So for them, for the Warriors, machine gun offense needs to be the name of the game. I don't know how they are going to be implementing that bully ball, but I absolutely need to see it in my life, not just because I am an aficionado, but I feel that can ultimately turn the tide. Easier said than done, though, again, against a team that implements it so well, and as a result, knows how to deny the opposition that. But we are just under 3 minutes to go here in our absolutely 100%, totally our first game of the evening. But again, Creeps, I will say all of the props to be able to go out there in whatever car and vibe. Again, the have fun meta I am here for. That is the meta of champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Hockey will look to work this one too, Zanil. This one is wide, but Northwood, as we've clarified, does not care if things are wide, does not care if boost doesn't exist, does not care about anything existing or not existing. They will just simply keep going, as Zanil with no boost in the tank will promptly provide an example of. Hockey will provide the follow through. The 50 will find its way wide. Zanil again turning and burning, but Bluey will find the release valve on the pressure for now. He will look for the follow, actually went for the drop down off the backboard, but it was denied. And Hockey will look for the clearance. He will be contested by Velocity. Will find its way back to Bluey, who works it up over the top of one. But Zanil off the ceiling will run his hands through that ball. Reshiram will have a touch in mid. Velocity will work it back into the Northwood end. But Creams in the corner has something to say. But so does Velo. Looking for the double Bluey on the follow. No response. And here comes Northwood. They've been lethal from this position. And they still are. It is Zanil, and we're tied with 95 seconds to go.
And we saw this previously. Cuts back, lays out, and indeed back of the net. Northwood continuing on with the vibe. And I don't know what is scarier when you have a team with the talent of either Tech or Northwood going out there and playing with that high skill, that high talent, or you have that team going out there and playing with the same enthusiasm and kind of mindset as I have seen Gold 3s and Plat 2s play with. They are just out there with all the confidence in the world. These guys have most certainly earned it. But again, that have fun meta, the idea that you can go out in this game and relax and not stress, go into a private lobby with your friends and just vibe. I mean, that is truly what you're seeing here from Northwood. But will deny it. Thank you, Mr. Crossbar, a Tech fan in that moment. But it just really seems Northwood just really pushing the boys back on their heels, making them uncomfortable, deleting them from the pitch. 33 the hard way, but you got to keep up with a team that is vibing right now. They have largely been able to do so, but it kind of feels, again, Bub, like those opportunities will be there, but they have gotten fewer and fewer as the evening has gone on.
Yeah, this is scary. I feel like I've said that a lot so far tonight, but again, another example of this being scary. Creams again to the middle. This time Bluey was there. We have not gotten out of our own end since the kickoff. Here's another shot opportunity. It won't find we won't even get to the point of it being a shot. But again, Northwood, here's another one. This one on target. Velocity will make the save. Final 10 seconds. Again, the Warriors in the final 95 seconds have not left their defensive end, and they have been boost starved. They are very hungry. They will finally find a clearance. Bluey may be looking for an extension, but again, here comes Northwood. Zanil looking for the waterfall. Hockey will bury it. It's 1-0 Northwood.
That was absolutely beautiful. Again, I know it's an Indiana Tech team stream, but at the end of the day, you gotta say, hey, I recognize quality Rocket League, and most certainly Northwood. That's and more, honestly, and I think that's what's most infuriating is. It is a style that, if you can pull it off, is great as a team to just cover the opposition's 50% of the pitch and just lean on them. Not even necessarily like a stiff arm or anything like that, just constantly pushing your way closer and closer to the net. They are opting to give space and just continue vibing on that half of the pitch and just shot after shot after shot, feeling confident that eventually one is going to slip past, because that is just how it has been for 4 games now. That first one, not so much, but ever since, it has just been all Northwood. And this was really my concern coming into this second series, is for the boys to find confidence. But perhaps the biggest issue out there would be a team, a Northwood crew, that continues on with the vibe, and no reason to think that 5 minutes is going to stand between that. No need to concern yourself with the idea of that fizzling out. So for Indiana Tech, again, it is just trying to find a way to get through and score in bunches, but I mean, the way that this has gone, I don't know how realistic that is at this point, but we shall see. This is a strange game. It is CRL, a strange semester it has been. Although, to be fair, right now, everything coming up Northwood.
This has been a semester full of crazy results. Northwood, notably, I think they also got swept by Leslie University early in the season. It was either 4-0 or 4-1. The Warriors also beating Northwood. They've had there's been crazier results too. I just can't name some other major notable ones off the top of my head at the moment, mainly because I'm thinking about Northwood. But it's been a wild one with a lot of wild results. It is not improbable. It has happened before. It can happen again. Although Northwood, when they're playing like this, it is very hard to bet against them, even as a Tech homer that ashamedly am at times, and I will never ever deny. Zanil will fake this one hockey with a rare miss, but again, Northwood keeping the press on again. It will be Reshiram finally finding some clearance. He'll work it over one. He'll look for the bump, but again, it is denied, and now the question is there the Warriors have a second opportunity, or is Northwood just going to march all the way downfield and keep it there?
I just want to take a moment and acknowledge the level of self-awareness my colleague has over there. I think it's something that we all should aspire to, quite frankly. But one thing I do want to point out, I did mention the whole 4-1 thing after losing the first game. Maybe kind of sort of. We got to manifest this one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. But velocity indeed a pop. So we are starting to see elements here. The ingredients are there from the tech that we are familiar with. Northwood obviously more than happy to keep doing what they're doing, and thought we might see a little power of friendship there, but instead of the pop away, like you said, we are more than happy to go out there, do our thing, vibe. There's no reason to deviate whatsoever at this point. Again, tech just has been struggling to knock them off kilter, but now I don't know. I'm seeing a little something here, but gotta find a way to crack through and deny Northwood having to play a little bit of volleyball.
I'm gonna try and find another opportunity here. This is, I think, the longest we've gone in this series without somebody scoring. Creams will look to promptly end that stretch as he is cut off in the corner hockey. On the follow, clearance is found. Zanil will recoil. He's got no pressure, so he will defer to Creams, who is being challenged by velocity. And Creams is going off the ceiling again. This time it's off target. The rebound is there, though, and there's no man there. No hand up. Northwood has scored again. 1-0 with 2:19 to go.
Yeah, and when you provide that shot on, for Zanil, gonna get it every single time. It's just, you get him, even with somebody back there, honest to goodness, just about 9 times out of 10, that will result in a score. So, again, just right now, the denial, that one off the backboard, velocity with the response. We do, in fact, love to see it. So, hey, what's good for one? Most certainly good for the other. Set him off the back ball. And again, right now, it is about finding a way to light that kindling to get the flame to rise. You got to start somewhere. Most certainly in a tech. Hey, we'll take it, able to bring things back even. But I will say the mental for the opposition as well. They have steeled. They have locked in for just about the entirety of the series. Solon's game number 1 earlier on, set up opportunity. Nobody there to get the shot on for Northwood. Zanil, however, looking to follow. Instead, that kicked away. Maybe an opportunity now for the Warriors, sent sky high. Bluey not going to be able to get a shot on it. Gets deleted. Was looking for something, but ultimately going to spawn opposite side of the pitch with 33 in tank. That would challenge off the low, popped away. Bluey now looking to catch and carry. Not going to be had there. Sent back down towards Terra Firma, and velocity off the rush. So I think we are seeing an element of urgency that we didn't see previous. There were definitely the feeling of we have to get back in, and there was that element of speed. But there's something there now, Bub, where it feels like the boys are locking in to a degree and trying to find themselves in the moment versus kind of stretching out over the entirety of a game, just sort of breaking things down into 15, 30, 60 seconds. And that most certainly is something that can provide you a shift in mentality, as right now we are under a minute remaining here in our game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, and it really feels like a must-win situation for the boys right now.
Yeah, absolutely. There has been more stability. Now the question is this a fleeting couple of minutes of stability, or is this the beginning of a trend? Velocity had the top corner, wasn't able to bury it, a rare miss, and now Zanil the other way denied. Velo will pop it out. The rebound's still there. Bluey will deny. Good call, by the way, in the chat. Tater calling out Leslie did indeed 4-0 Northwood. St. Edwards also did beat Northwood earlier in the year, 4-1. So there is another crazy result that we were talking about. But yes, stability, yes. Do we want to see it become a trend? I think the only way we can test if it is any semblance of long-term sustainable response is if the Warriors can find a way to win this game.
critical here. If we shift on over into an overtime stanza, it has been a two-game run. If you want to look at overtimes over the course of our evening, Northwood able to get back-to-back dubs in games 3 and 4, and indeed, it is an overtime situation here. Tech, if they are able to get the dub in game number 2 overtime, they will be able to bring this one even. If Northwood is able to, it will be, ladies and gentlemen, a 6-game run. But again, enjoying the kind of settled down situation. Doesn't look like the same amount of nerves that we saw previous. When you're going to shift on over into an overtime like this, it does appear that we might have that memory of a goldfish situation for the Warriors, which quite honestly right now, Bob, it is absolutely mandatory. As now gets the send from one end to the other. Hockey looking to get the soft touch. Indeed is able to do that. Popped away now. Again, Northwood continuing on with that have a fun meta, if you will. Sent back on over, as we have seen again some creative Bob Rossian presets, dare I say, from Chris, and has been so successful. Has he from the Road Dogg over to, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Mantis, if my garage knowledge is on point. But right now, a minute into this one, and it really does feel like it's anybody's game.
Northwood, it's a counterattack. Here we go. Bluey does deny it for now. Producer is on it for you. It is the Mantis. He did confirm.
Thank you.
Zanil, shout out Skaboosh on that one. Shout out Northwood for nearly burying that one. Shout out Reshiram for the save on the goal line, keeping the Warriors season potentially alive here. But the threat has not been alleviated quite yet. That will help for now, but Northwood smells blood in the water. It is Zanil. He has been the other major player so far for Northwood, aside from Creams. Hockey was looking for the second man, but it's the third one to watch out for. Zanil off the bar. The rebound. It's Hockey. Denied on the goal line. I think it was Velo.
If there is anybody I anticipated being involved from Northwood on something like that, it most certainly was not Zanil. But we have seen them respond. They have not cared. I mean, I think that's the meta we're looking for. The do not care full send meta. Okay, yeah. Even if we are out there on the goal line, so. And then this has to do what exactly with our evening? Because again, right now the pressure, it really feels, even though it's a 1-0 series, it is off the bracket reset. You have just taken loss after loss after loss. Northwood, why change anything that you're doing? Everything has been absolutely tremendous, and take your time. I mean, they continue on playing a little bit looser out there, but however, we do have Bluey layout demo there. It will stall, challenge off the low, and ultimately Northwood gonna come up victorious. Fortunate setup opportunity, but that one will not be on as we pass a half of regulation here into our overtime stanza. 1-1 Indiana Tech. There's a sent back. Northwood looking to catch and carry, popped away. Maybe a shot opportunity. No, will be denied. So again, have been able to go step for step, at least in the end, the time being. Have the Warriors and a little bit of love from the back wall and the stop. It was the Goomba stop, courtesy of Mario and or Luigi. I don't care which one you prefer. Look at this. Okay, at the end of the day, it is everything that you could possibly want from Northwood. Again, it just feels like it's inevitable, right? As well as the boys have played, as well as they have been able to adjust, Northwood settled in, comfortable. Zanil, 7 shots. It seems to be lucky number 7 for Northwood so many times. We have seen that, whether it's Zanil, whether it's Creams, whether it's Hockey, everybody getting involved on that. And again, Bob, that level of pressure on a defense that has not been successful on the opposite end, it just really feels like it's a bend, and then eventually break, because these are human beings and they have to blink kind of a defense.
And again, if you look back, I think they were all on 20 or less boost, the Warriors were. Northwood, I'm pretty sure, was at least averaging 50 between the three. That has been a consistent trend when they get pinned in their own end. Northwood is very good at starving the Warriors and keeping them in their own end. That was a long overtime, and the Warriors kept themselves in it for a long time. But like you said, Monkey Shines, that felt like a game you had to win.
Yeah.
Now you have to win 4 of the next 5. And the only team that's been able to do that between these two against each other is Northwood. The Warriors got 5 in a row between 2 series. Northwood's now got, what did you say, 6 in a row now?
That would be 6.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Yeah, 6 in a row. Yeah, the mountain just got a little bit steeper.
Well, we talk about trains going off the rails. I think right now, the train, if you are Northwood, I mean, just barreling ahead, no off the rails whatsoever. It is just a powerhouse, not stopping. So again, the boys have been there, but like you said, the boost management and denial from Northwood, it has been on point. It has been immaculate, just from the standpoint of honoring the game. I mean, it has been just top tier, top shelf. But again, the boys have been there, but the opportunities, again, they become rarer and rarer. And if you are not able to connect with what has really been kind of one or two, that has largely been it. So again, we continue on. It has been a rough go. Is now Reshi squatting on the 100 for the time being. Indeed, going to be able to follow up on that. Looking for the 7. I do believe Northwood maybe has one more for us, but again, it has just been, I think the word for the evening is infuriating.
Yeah, and something that we've talked about all season for the Warriors, especially here in the NECC, is good teams find a way to win. And we've said a lot for the Warriors. By the way, car swap for Velo. He is now in the Octanes. So that is, I think, the only other car swap we've seen other than Creams, who has done it twice. I think actually 3 times, because I think he was playing in Fennec at first. That shot is off target. The same can absolutely be said for Northwood. They have found ways to win a lot of games here tonight when they have no other option but to win. So credit where credit is due. We have given a lot of that to a Northwood roster who has, well, a lot of wins in their history, both distant and recent. Shout out Lion Blaze for being one of the originators of that trend. That is a beautiful infield pass, and Hockey buries it. Northwood just does not stop.
For all the critiques that we may have at the end of the day, back of the net does Hockey put it. So again, Northwood just right now, pure flow state. It's something that we've seen really since, game 2, game 3. I think we saw a bit of it, at least in game 2. We start to see that element kind of settle in. But ever since, man, I mean, it has just been a run on not just adrenaline, but momentum. I mean, I know, we've just shifted out of November, but you would swear if they didn't just get a run at Black Friday somewhere, Northwood, I don't know if they stopped by Costco and got a pallet of it, but at the end of the day, it has been a vibe for them. But still, I mean, a winnable series and then some for Tech, and indeed, Bluey, looking to show us why, but so many times we have seen them be able to stare Northwood in the eye yet again. A gorgeous touch there as well. So I'm loving how they got it there. They got to match this vibe, and I want to see the boys shift on over, just get a lead here in some form and factor, but it gets stolen away on the suggestion of that. Again, Creeves doesn't care if he's in the Roadhog, doesn't care if he's in the Fed, doesn't care if he's in the Mantis. Again, I don't know how I can put it other than it is a vibe that Northwood is riding right now.
There are 2 words that I noticed that were in that sentence you said there, Monkey Shines, that I feel like we've said a lot. Doesn't care. It's been the trend for Northwood for a while. The Warriors are going to try their hand at not caring. This time it doesn't work out. Bluey will try and put one on target. Doesn't work. He's going to try again. We're back at it. He's got a man in the middle. Hockey is not the man I was referring to in the middle, but you know what? I see the vision. We're going to keep working at it. Northwood was pre-jumping that clear, by the way. I think that was Creams, because the dude might be the most confident man on the planet right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Velocity is working this one to the right side. Zanil is there. He will look to work this one back the other way. Flip reset in hand. He just won't use it because he doesn't really need to. Creams is on the task again. He will look to work this one middle, and he won't do that for once. Velocity from the backboard has got to try and find some clearance here. Will choose to bounce it off his own defensive end to the hand of Creams. I don't think that was in the plans, but Bluey will find 2 touches and some clearance, and now it is the Warriors looking to get something going. There is a bump on Hockey, which opens some space, and now a decent 50, but again, The third man for Northwood is just always there. The Warriors haven't found that space, and then when they do, I think that was a bump from Northwood to remove the threat. Creams nearly iced potentially the series, hockey potentially game number 3.
It is such a struggle. I don't care what roster you have. It could be either of these, could be any. When the attitude of your opposition, when their game plan towards you can be summarized with an ellipses followed by A&D question mark, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, you try to find ways to set something up that has been constantly denied. You have tried bully ball. They have been able to fill the spaces. You have tried to knock their mental around. It has been just impenetrable ever since really game number 2. I mean, it has been just an absolute masterclass in response. And one of the times that does not go in Northwood's favor. So there have certainly been moments where the boys have looked on point, but they have been few and far between. Against a team that, I mean, I'm not sure what was said. I don't know what the short of a huge dub, if there might be something else on the other end of the rainbow here. But ultimately, Northwood just going out there being the team that I think just they chronically are.
Yeah. It is not often we see the Warriors just completely shut down. Especially, as you mentioned, at the very beginning of this broadcast, approximately an hour and 23 minutes ago, Velocity and Reshiram just completely shut down. We have seen Northwood systematically close the Warriors out of every opportunity, every possession, everything. They can't even get the boost to exist half the time. Northwood, quadruple match point. And now the Warriors are staring down the barrel of a reverse sweep to, they're out of lives. They had a bracket reset. They don't have one more loss left on the table. They have to go 4 of 4 now to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, and what a tear it has been for Northwood. Velocity stepping out. Maybe another wardrobe change to be had. Maybe we are seeing a random reset. Maybe we're seeing the Roadhog. Maybe we're seeing the Mantis. I'm here for the Scarab, by the way. At the end of the day, trying to find. I think that is your potential winning formula, Bub. As wild as it may sound, try to find a way to go out there and have fun. I mean, obviously, it may be too little, too late for the Warriors at this point. But I think the pressure that they know how to put on themselves. You know, I mean, better than anybody out here. This is a tremendously competitive crew. I mean, they put no doubt a ton of pressure on themselves this evening. Maybe the one thing that I can say, go out there and vibe, go out there and have fun. I mean, what one team is knocking it out of the ballpark? Who am I to say? Who are we to suggest that that's not the elixir to cure the ills of Indiana Tech? I think, honestly, genuinely, when you find yourself in this spot, it's going to sound silly. That may actually be something to try, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, well, we'll see. What have the Warriors cooked up? It is an unorthodox kickoff that... I don't think that was in the plans.
No, that was just straight up brute force through the kickoff is what that was. And then you want to talk about having fun? I mean, again, there you go. Just drawing up plays in the sand right now is this crew. I mean, they just kind of thrown out the playbook. I think has Northwood, and they're like, so what do you want to try? Well, we could do this. Yeah, that sounds fun. And that's really been executed to near perfection. Which, I mean, again, at this point, I feel the only thing that you can do is we see a pair of demos there, bully ball, something that Northwood has provided right in front of net, and it is a tee up for Zanil, but not by a teammate. Is just trying to have fun. But right now, the way this has gone, I mean, I will say this, sometimes I do pick up the sticks and settle in and everything. I am not anywhere near as high rank as these individuals, and I really, really feel the struggles out there right now. However, still a 2-0 situation. Definitely buildable, but we have to say, yes, in a single game situation, yeah, it is. But this is how most of the evening has gone. And my goodness, can it get the follow? No, it just, again, anything, Bob, anything. And no, again, just lockdown. Every single place. Look, I cannot verify that Northwood has any sort of any sort of class, any sort of certification in security systems, but you could fool me after what we have seen.
Hey, NECC, can we get an investigation into Northwood's net? That's a joke, by the way, for legal reasons.
Yes, yes. For legal purposes, that is a joke.
That is a verifiable meme. Northwood's defense is just goated. That is literally all I have to say. Hockey, please don't do this to me. Oh, we're gonna do this to me. Okay. Yeah. So. Northwood, guys, this, yeah, we could score 4 goals in 3 minutes. We got this. We got this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. One kickoff goal changed my mind.
Exactly. But again, I mean, at this point, and again, I don't care the roster. I don't care if it's the boys. I don't care who it is. When you find yourself on the bad end of this, what more are you supposed to do? I mean, at this point, maybe some clips, but they have been denied, as you can see right there. Yet another opportunity, just denied by Northwood. The element of fun that you try to find here that has been successful for you has constantly been denied over and over and over again, and anything you try to do just denied. Which unfortunately at this point, Bub, I mean, not to suggest anything necessarily, but at what point are you just kind of Dunskies? You're not having a great time. You have not been able to crack through this team, which again, we have seen how well Indiana Tech has played, but just some nights are most certainly not your night, and that kind of seems to be how it has been for the Warriors. I mean, again, with how wild this semester has been, it feels like this genuinely could have been either side, but again, expertly done. I do believe that may in fact be the final nail, the final necessary nail in the coffin. But I'm seeing apathy out there, my guy, right now, and just here you are in this state. What is one supposed to do? I mean, from a human element as well. I mean, yes, from a competitive standpoint, yes, you play out the game, but right now you have to respect the human element, and you ask, what are we to do? And I will give all the credit in the world to the Warriors to go out there and give it their all. But when you have a team that is locked into this degree, that is playing this expertly and this flawlessly, as that one will roll and not go back of the net.
The one time Northwood misses, by the way.
Yes, we appreciate those. We take those. And at the very least, hey, you got to take wins where you can. At the very least, $1:53 left, still time. There will be no shutout. Okay, we have to appreciate that. There will be no shutout. Searching for a scrambling.
By the way, man.
Yeah, a gorgeous shot. Gorgeous shot. We got to scramble for dubs where we can, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I mean, I love to see that level of vibe, and that is traditionally, I think, what we have seen over the course of the semester. But they just have not been able to string it together here this evening, and that's the thing. We are not seeing the team that so many times I have sat here with you and enjoyed. They are just not out there this evening.
Yeah, and I do want to, as we had our verifiable Chris Paul cuts the lead to 43 moment, hockey is going to go for a psycho. Okay, we're not doing this on the Indiana Tech stream. Thank you very much. I do want to provide some perspective, maybe. Obviously, like you said, as competitors, you want to win every game. You did just, in your last meeting with these guys, not drop a single game. So in your heart, you feel like, you can do it again. But this was a year, or a semester rather, where this was a new roster for the Warriors that had come in. They have put up, as Northwood nearly puts 5th on the board, they put up a very, very strong set of results in a matter of not even 16 weeks. Ranked as high as, 10th, I think, by colleague at even certain points. This semester, wins on this Northwood roster, on the now back-to-back St. Clair Green, defending CRL champs. They've had some very, very high highs, some very strong results. Young roster, very strong roster already. It's only going to get better as Chris Paul has now cut the lead to 42. It is Bluey double dipping.
job there by Bluey. Yeah, I mean, even though this evening has gone awry for Indiana Tech in just about every way, shape, and form, this is a team that, as you said, has been somewhere between 10 and 20, depending on who you ask. I mean, I remember countless times we were hovering around that 15 to 18 area. Young roster, just so incredibly fun when they have been able to lock in, when they find their flow state, just stupid fun to watch. So I do not know how many times I have sat down and just genuinely enjoyed them. And looking for the father, set up by Blue, and kickback will be denied. So again, this evening, and not just that it's not a great night for the Warriors, testament to how good this Northwood team is. To step up and play this caliber of Rocket League, really, again, truly testament to that. To that organization, to that group, to that team as well. So ultimately, tip of the cap to Northwood for what we saw. But wrapping back around, a tremendously fun roster. I have had just an absolute great time. It's been a privilege. It's been a treat to cast Bluey, Velocity, and Restroom over the course of the semester. That this evening does not change my mind on that. And great guys as well, just as human beings, great guys in general. So again, not the night that we were looking for here on this channel, but at the end of the day, when you look over it macro, so much potential, so much that can be built upon, and that's not me searching for moral victories. That is just something that I have seen over the course of these many weeks now, and it has been. It's been great to have this opportunity to cast this Warrior crew, and again, not a great evening by any stretch of the imagination, but a great team. I mean, you can sign me up every time.
I think when you look at the overall Division 1 teams, at the beginning of the season, if you would ask these guys, you're in a division with Northwood, Concord, Cumberland, Kennesaw State, St. Clair Green, to have them go, yeah, you guys are going to get top 2. I think there would have been a lot of people, not you and I both as well, would have been, that's a fantastic result.
Yeah.
And we're going to walk away with this going, man, that kind of stings a little. That goes to show how well this team grew from, beginning to end of the season. Top 2 is a fantastic result. And again, it's only the beginning for these 3. Last game of the semester, sure. But again, sure, this was a loss. The highs heavily outweigh the lows to me this season.
Yeah. I mean, they so many opportunities, had people out there on Twitter, in chat, saying #tech yeah, and again, regardless, or tech we, if you will, from time to time. But yeah, again, this evening, not great, but I will tell you, I am proud to have been affiliated in any way, shape, or form with this roster. Things go awry sometimes. All teams have bad days. It is what it is. But with this youth and what can be built upon here, I mean, it's a bright future, and I think sky is the limit for this trio. They are insanely fun to cast, but just sometimes it's not your night. This being one of them, and it is what it is. I am still, regardless, sir, I am still insanely, exceptionally proud of them. I showed up here on no sleep to cast them, and even with the results, no regrets. I would do it again.
Absolutely. Well, it has been a blast to have you as well, Monkey Shines, as well as to everyone else. A shout out to Skaboosh as well. He's not looking at me right now. Now he is. Now I got the eyes. We're going to
get the applause, official applause. There we go. Yes.
As well as shout out for Tater, who is running clips and stats tonight in lieu of KR Swish, who usually runs in that spot. So much love to Tater for stepping in tonight.
Absolute legend.
Absolutely love that guy. But that's it for the Warriors Rocket League season. Top 2 in NECC. Pretty good season overall. They just barely missed out on CRL quals. They win WAC. They got that behind me. There's one of these 2 crystal things. You can't read it, but it's there. Trust me, it's one of those 2.
Yes.
Overwatch had to do the same thing because they had to join the party too. Speaking of which, Overwatch. Pretty sure, not confirmed yet. I think it's Overwatch on Friday. Either Overwatch or League of Legends Friday for their NECC Finals game. We will be here on the Indiana Tech Esports channel. Not confirmed which is which yet, but we'll be here So you better be too. That is all for me. Again, Monkey Shines, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here as always. And I think that's it from the front to the back. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And have a good night. Your final score, the Warriors fall to Northwood through the bracket reset, 2-0.
I never met you. No, it's all for the best, 'cause I know where I'm at every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but